friends, it's me, Pastor Doug, with another word of encouragement for the day for today, Wednesday, April 28th. And today's word comes out of the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 3. And in it, we continue our exploration of this idea of pride. And really the more important idea that if Jesus is my king, then pride, my self-infatuation, my self-interest are not my king. And listen to what Paul writes in Romans chapter 12, verse 3. He says this, "For by the grace given to me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you." Now, on the surface, it might just look like Paul is saying, hey guys, don't be prideful, don't think, so highly of yourself, right? Knock it off and then go about your business. But it's more than that, because at the beginning of this passage, the beginning of this particular verse, Paul says, "For by the grace given to me." So what Paul is saying, listen, the reason that we don't think of ourselves more highly than we ought to is because of grace. Because all of us are on equal ground at the foot of the cross, right? All of us, regardless of our achievements, our accomplishments, how spiritual we are, how religious we are, how moral we are, how good we are, how bad we are, how rich we are, how poor we are, regardless of any of those things, all of us are on equal ground at the foot of the cross. And Paul is saying, listen, all of us have, the only reason that any of us have anything is because of the grace of God. So rather than thinking of it as my accomplishment, or look at what I did, or look at how good of a person I am, or how moral I am compared to that other group over there, no, the only reason that I'm anything in the eyes of God is because of His grace. And so Paul is saying, don't forget that. Don't think of yourself more highly than you ought. Think of yourself with sober judgment, with a recognition that apart from the grace of God, you and I would be nothing. I've heard a quote, and you've probably heard it too, that Christianity is just one beggar telling another beggar where to find bread, right? It's so important for us to recognize that apart from grace, you and I are nothing. But because of God's incredible grace, God has lavished His love on us, invited us into a relationship with Him, given us a beautiful plan and a purpose and significance to our lives. And because of the grace of God, you and I are invited to live into that. But we can never forget that it's only by God's amazing grace. So friends, as you look in the mirror, as you think about your life, as you compare yourself to other people, may you and I continue to recognize that it is only by God's amazing grace. So, friends, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.